So for this project, I'm going to show you how to take a two-dimensional image, take a screenshot of it, turn it into a 3D model, import that into Tinkercad, and then group that to another 3D model inside of Tinkercad. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over here to the bottom left where it says search. I'm going to type in company portal. We have to install a program called 3D Builder. If you have access to the Microsoft Store, you could go ahead and find 3D Builder inside the Microsoft Store. Once company portal loads, you might have to click here where it says show all to find 3D Builder. Here it is here. Go ahead and click on that and then install. While it's installing, we can find the image that we want to turn into a 3D model. So I'm going to go over here to where it says Microsoft Edge, or you could use Chrome. Once Edge or Chrome are loaded, you want to go to google.com. So google.com. Then I'm going to type in a few keywords. These keywords are going to help me find the best image that's going to be easier to find and to turn into a 3D model. So I'm going to type in black and white vector. Those are all keywords, and then the next thing that you're going to type in is the actual image that you want to find that is a black and white image. So I'm just going to type in Spider-Man for this example and then click on images. Now the best type of image would be something that doesn't have really thin lines and doesn't have a whole lot of detail. So I'm going to scroll down till I find something that I want to turn into a 3D model. So I like this one here. I'm going to go ahead and click on it. Okay, so now we need to take a screenshot of this image. So I'm going to go down here to the bottom left where it says search. I'm going to type in snipping tool. I'm going to click where it says new. Screen should go gray. You should have these crosshairs. I'm going to click and drag and not let go until I get to the other side of the image. Then we have to save this image. So I'm going to click on these three dots on the top right, then click on save. And at this point, we're also going to make a folder for this project. So let's go over to our OneDrive, scroll down to where it says Documents, then the year we're currently in, the period you have my class, the semester we're currently in, and now let's go ahead and create a folder for this project. Click on where it says New Folder. Let's call this 2D to 3D. Go ahead and open that, and let's rename this file. I'm going to call it Spider-Man. And we do want to save it as a PNG, that's fine. So let's click on Save. We could close this out. 3D Builder should be done installing by now. You could always go back and check to make sure it is fully installed. But down here where it says search, I'm going to type in 3D Builder. Go ahead and click on the app. Let's click on New Scene. You're going to go to the top left where it says Insert, then Add. Click on where it says Load Image. If it doesn't open up the folder where you save the image, you have to go back to where it says OneDrive, Documents, the year we're currently in, the period you have my class, the semester we're currently in, and then you should have the folder for this project, and then there's the image there that we took a screenshot of. Go ahead and click on open, and it's going to load that image. So right now it's showing the opposite of the image. It's showing the inverse. So anything that was white in the image, it's a 3D model. So one way to fix that is we're going to click here where it says inverse, and now everything that was black in the image is now the 3D model. So let's click on where it says import image. Now we're going to save this 3D model. So I'm going to click on these three lines on the top left. Click where it says save as. We want to choose where we're going to save this. And it should open up the folder where you imported the image from. And we're going to save this as an STL. And then click on save. Click on continue. And we can close this out. Now we're going to go over to Tinkercad. So let's open up a new tab and let's go to tinkercad.com. Now your screen should look something similar to this. If it doesn't, you want to make sure that you log in using the link that I gave you inside of your class notebook. Otherwise, once you get to this link, it just say join with a nickname, and your screen should look something similar to this. You're going to click on your profile, and you could click new design here, and then 3D design. Now let's go ahead and import that 3D model. So let's click on import, choose a file, and it opened up that folder that I created, but let's go ahead, just in case it didn't, let's go to your OneDrive, then your documents, the year we're currently in, the period you have my class, the semester we're currently in, and then the folder of the project. And your 3D model should be inside there. There it is. Click on open and then import. So here's the model of Spider-Man. I'm going to move it to the side. I'm going to go over here to where it says settings, and we're going to change this from millimeters to inches and then close it out. I'm going to bring over a cube, and I'm going to click on the top of the cube. It's already 1 inch. So I click on the white square on top. It's 1 inch. I'm going to click on a corner. Let's make the front, the width of this cube 5 inches. So I'm going to click on the white corner, change it to 5. I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to scoot over, click on the white square again, click on the one on the side, change that also to 5. Let's move it on over. And let's check the height here. So again, it's 1 inch. Let's bring the 3D model over. I'm going to change this also to 1 inch. So they should be the same height. And what I'm going to do with this 3D model is I'm going to turn it into a hole. And I'm going to move it up. So I'm going to click this black triangle on top. I'm going to start dragging up. And we could type over here on this little fraction and change it to 0.5. And that would be ½ an inch. Now we can select both of these by clicking on the cube, holding down shift, and then clicking on your 3D model. Now I'm going to go over here to the top right, click on align. I'm going to zoom out. So I have this black indicator in the front. I'm going to click on that, and then this black indicator on the left to center it. And your 3D model should be halfway in the cube and halfway outside of the cube. So now we're going to go ahead and group both of these. If you clicked off of them, again, the way to select more than one object is clicking on one object and then holding down shift and then clicking on the 3D model and then grouping. And it took that 3D model of Spider-Man and it created a stencil inside of that cube. So now this 3D model is ready to be attached. So let's click on where it says export. If we're printing this 3D model, you would send it to me as an STL. If we need the color inside of the 3D model, you would send it to me as a GLB. So I'm going to click on where it says STL. That's going to send it over to my downloads. And if you need that GLB to attach it with color, we could go back, click on export, then GLB, and it's also going to be sent to my downloads folder. So I'm going to click on my file explorer, and go over to my downloads, and there's the 3D files. I want to put both of these files in the folder that we made for this project. You can hold down Control, tap the letter N to open a new File Explorer window, or you could scroll down to the File Explorer button down here, right click on it, click on File Explorer, and it opened a second window. So I could put these side by side. I could click on the top of this window, click and drag to the right. Now it's asking me what I want on the left hand side. I want my downloads window. Now on the right hand side, let's go over to my OneDrive, click on the cloud, documents, the year we're currently in, the period of my class, the semester we're currently in, and then the name of the project. So now you can drag both of these over. One thing you could also do is you could go back to Tinkercad and rename these files. So you could have named this Spider-Man 2D to 3D, and then click off. And then when you export, they'll be named the new file name. So again, the STL and the GLB will be the two files that you attach inside of Teams. If you have any questions of how to find an image, how to take a screenshot of an image, how to bring that into 3D Builder, and then import that into Tinkercad, go ahead and let me know. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And feel free to watch any of the other related videos.